So I'm delighted to be joined by goalkeeping coach Sal Bibbo and first team coach Steve Bould. Chaps, thank you very much for making the time to speak to us here on The Breakdown. Great to see you. It's been a big transition, a big period of change, hasn't it, at the club? I mean, how excited have you been by what's happened? How challenging has it been over the last few months?
Well, it's been, I mean, the change after 20 odd years has been, enormous. But I think it's gone well. I think the transition from the last period has been remarkable.
Yeah, well, the performances have been excellent, particularly in the goalkeeping department. Congratulations on that. I think all the guys are in great form.
They weren't very good before, were they?
But Bernd, you got a new goalkeeper to learn from as well, to work with rather. How good has it been to work with a newcomer?
I think the credit goes to the boys. They're a very good group. Bernd's come into that group and he's blended in really well. They have a very good relationship, competitive relationship, but a good relationship. And they push each other every day. Training's been very good. So no, I think they all add to that. It's a competitive environment on a day-to-day basis.
I was going to say, you've got three excellent keepers
Yes.
there to work with, and it feels from the outside looking in that they're all pushing themselves.
Yes.
The standards seem to have gone up. Do you think they're having, particularly Bernd Leno and Petr Cech, really genuinely battling it out to become first choice? Do you think that has raised standards?
I think a fresh face in the group has done that, yes. I think as well, Petr has come back fit and healthy from the summer break, and that's helped him as well. I think some good fresh ideas as well from Javi has helped. All in all, I think a culmination of good signing in the summer, great attitude from the boys since they come back, and it's worked out well.
How's the dynamic changed then within that special unit? Because you've got Petr Cech there, very, senior keeper. He's worked at the highest level for many years, and then you've got Bernd Leno coming in, and you've also got Emi Martinez, who's hungry to be given the opportunities. How are those guys getting on together?
I think first things first. When you speak about Peter, he's a good human being. So first of all, as a gentleman, he's top. So he's going to be exactly the same with Bernd coming in as he was with David. He'll be professional, be welcoming, and that as a start point is very good. It's welcoming to Bernd. Emi was very welcoming too, and I must say, generally goalkeeping groups they're a union. There's a professional code where you work together. You
Special
support
people, eh?
Something like that. They support one another in the right way. I think, ultimately you have to take care of your own performance, and then it's up to the manager to pick, who he feels, is best.
Absolutely. From a tactical perspective, the big change, of course, is Unai Emery's desire to pass out from the back. And I guess in that respect, you two will be working together with the players, won't you? Because it's been a big change. Obviously, you did pass out from the back before on occasion, but now it's far more regular. How challenging has it been to work with the guys?
Well, it's a big challenge. I think it's a big challenge to get supporters on your side at times as well, because it can be a little bit edgy for sure. But I think it's winning them over. It's been a big challenge, certainly for the keepers. But it's part of Adrian, I think it's changed from our day, when keepers just kicked it long and big centre forwards headed it and centre halves had to head it. I think now, you're expected, number one, to be good with your feet as a keeper, and I think as a centre back and as a full back, you need to be able to play in deep areas.
Yeah, I spoke to Petr Cech last season, towards the back end of last season. I was talking to him about this exact subject in regards to Ederson, for example, being asked to be this sweeper keeper, extremely comfortable with his feet. And he said, well, look, I think I can do it, or I know I can do it. It's just that I've not really been asked to do that here before. I mean, is that something? Have you noticed a change in him, or did he always have the ability to pass out from the back? Because again, from the early weeks, he seemed to have made a progression in that department.
I think, like anything, it's not just the goalkeeper, it's the players in front of you as well. So, as a goalkeeper, when you get the ball, you need those options. Of course, he can execute the pass. It's about building those relationships with different players and different options to get the ball out. Everyone needs to be on the same page. And I think from the start of the season, I think, you know, the fullbacks, whether it's centre halves, whether it's your midfielders dropping into space, you know, it's become easier, should we say, for the goalkeepers because they're getting more used to it.
Well, we already scored a couple of fantastic goals, sweeping from one end of the pitch to the other, haven't we? So
yeah, and we're you know, it can be a little bit risky for sure, and it might look at times, and you know, and everybody's a little bit on edge. You know, we can all feel it, we all know it, but you know, it's. I think the more we do it, the better we'll become, and everybody will be used to the situation.
Interesting, yeah. In terms of the structure of the side, on and off the ball, really, there is a difference, I think, this season. In terms of man hours, Steve, on the training ground, working through drills, shape, etc. Has it taken a lot of work, a lot of time to get to the level that you need it to be?
I think what certainly the new management do an awful lot. They work a lot of hours, and you know, I think that they expect players to work a lot of hours. They do a lot of video work, a lot of analysis, which was actually done before. I don't have to tell you, it's not you know, it's not massively different at all, even though some people believe it is. But they want you to work hard. They expect hard work all around the club, and I think that drips down to the players.
Seeing you two sat here, just you know, goalkeeping expert, obviously defensive specialist, so to speak. That relationship, I always think that it's one of the most important relationships on the pitch between the goalkeeper and the back four or back three in front of them. What do you guys do specifically to foster that relationship, to build it?
Well, I think it's just, honestly, it's just work. I don't think there's any. We're doing nothing special that I'm sure any other club's trying to do. It's you know, when we played at Adrian, it was just work. You know, you worked under George, and it was bang work, and Arsene was work, and it's just hard work. It's hours.
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned George there. When you are working with the centre halves and you know, having a little word about this and that, are there any of George Graham's old tips that you like to pass
there
on?
are things that George passed on to me. I can't actually say too many on camera at this point, mate, because some of the language wasn't exactly clean. So, but there are things that he did that you know are ingrained in some of the sessions that we do.
Yeah, and do you guys sort of merge your sessions occasionally in terms of working with the keepers, specifically with the back four?
The keepers actually work with us an awful lot now, perhaps a little bit more than they used to, in terms of possession and using their feet.
Yeah. We'll do our work in preparation for the weekend game, but then we're interlinked with them with what they're doing.
Yeah.
So tactically we're aligned together.
Yeah. Okay. And in terms of the characters within the goalkeeping group, I always think it's a very unique little camp, isn't it? You often start your sessions alone and then join in with the main group. Is it still?
It's still the same.
Yeah.
We start at the same time. We'll generally have 20-30 minutes on our own. Then we may send two over. One may stay with us, and it will continue like that. We'll get our work done, but also we'll supplement their group.
I think one of the most pleasing aspects for the supporters that follow us week in, week out is the improvement of individuals, particularly the young players. I'm thinking of Rob Holding, Hector Bellerin, Alex Iwobi. I mean, I don't suspect you'll disagree with me here, but there seems to be a big improvement. Has there been a lot of work put into those guys on the training ground, Steve?
No more than previous. I think that all those young kids, I think they're just maturing in many ways. Year on year, you expect to get better, and then you're probably at a plateau, and then it starts to sort of drop off. But I think we always expected them to be good players. So I think they're just maturing. They're getting games on a regular basis. There's like I've said before, previous in the interview, hard work. It really is. It's time on the pitch, time on the training ground, time on watching videos.
Maturity is important as well, and I think with more experience, your decision making improves. I think we've seen that with Hector Bellerin in particular at right back. What about centre halves? Rob Holding is a guy that came into the team extremely young from Bolton. It's a different type of football, not easy for him.
No.
Do you think that his path at Arsenal, the journey that he's been on, is to be expected from where he came from?
Yeah, look, I think it's an awful difficult position, and it's almost the same as a keeper. I think those two positions, centre backs and keepers, for really young players is an awful big ask. And coming from, I don't know how many games Rob played at Bolton, but it wasn't too many. So he was never going to be straight up there. It was always going to be the journey, and I think he's gradually getting there, and he's got further to go. But we've got very high hopes. Yeah.
How excited are you about the scope for his development as a centre?
Yeah, very, because I think there's so much more in him. The game by game we've seen him this year grow, and the more games you play, the more experience you get. Hopefully, less mistakes happen.
Lucas Torreira's been fantastic, hasn't he, guys? I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to sort of pick on one player specifically, but he does seem to have added the ingredients that the team needed. It seems to have also helped Granit Xhaka, would you say, in terms of his, being a good foil for.
Yeah, I think they look like it could be a good partnership. Yeah, they look like they could, especially with Torreira. Torreira looks like he's always played here. He's just a great kid who nothing bothers him. He's always got a smile on his face. He trains every day as if he loves it. It's never a problem. He just looks the top.
Well, yeah. When you watch players that seem to enjoy doing the dirty work, it's quite unusual, isn't it?
Yeah. He does enjoy it. Yeah.
He's more than that, though, isn't he?
Oh, he's much more than that. But he's, he's just one of them kind of players that will do everything you ask. He won't question it. And that he'll do it to the best of his ability.
Just looking at the bigger picture in terms of the first team environment, big change, new voices, a number of new voices really behind the scenes. Has the way the players have reacted to that change really pleased you, or was it something that you always expected them to embrace?
Well, I think they would always embrace it. Clarke, I think football. We all know football. There can be. I know ours wasn't a big turnaround, but you know by experience and by other clubs that turnarounds are very quick, and players do accept it. They move on. They understand that it's the political side, nothing to do with them. They get on and they play football. And that's what the lads have done.
It's all going fantastically well. I think you'd agree.
Not bad, mate.
Yeah. I mean, how excited, optimistic are you for the future of the club? Are we on the right track?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think there's so much more to come. With the young crew that we've got in there, and the old experienced mob. I think that we've got a good mix now, and I think there's more improvement for sure. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like everything is heading in the right direction. Really, really appreciate your time, and I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hey, let me come out. Let me come back in.